Okay. Let me share my screen. Again, you can choose the language that you prefer from the bottom bar. We have also in this training interpretation from English to French. We advise you to check the chat box and leave it open in order to use it throughout the discussions that we are going to have in these trainings. However, keep your microphone off. You may also use the reactions from the reactions button from the bottom bar if you would like to pose a question or make a comment. Since I see that most of you are following us from the very beginning, we will not get into details again to the previous steps of this WES activity because we discussed them already the previous time. So, after our plenaries and bilateral mentoring sessions, last week actually, we had our first online training on effective environmental communication and community engagement that was facilitated by the expert in communication, Mr. Alexandros Kandarakis. Some 17 participants joined us and we discussed and explored more on the key elements, the ways, the principles of effective communication of our awareness raising campaigns and projects, and we shared good examples. So, just for your information and for those that missed the previous training, all presentations and the video recording very soon will be uploaded at the WES website. So for today, this is our second online training dedicated to a particular project, a communication campaign and awareness raising towards zero waste. I'm Coco, that it was coordinated by Refero. Today's training is going to be facilitated by the group, the expert from Refero, Ms. Laura Sanz and Laia Carula, while the training has been facilitated and co-organized with MedWaves in cooperation with Ms. Marta Zanquera. You have already the agenda for today. This is more or less the program to be followed. However, as the experts from Refero team will let you know that you're very welcome to interrupt, make any comments, raise questions during today. So I'm stopping here my presentation. And I give the floor to Marta, say welcome if you wish, and then to Retero team to start with the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky, and thank you everyone for being here. We hope today's session is interactive enough and gives you all the details and elements that you've been asking for. And feel free to put your cameras, as Vicky mentioned, and so we are in a small group, so we can easily see each other and get to know each other more. Thank you, and have a good session. Laura and Laia, I pass the floor to you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. We'll share now the presentation. Okay, so we can start. Can you? Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen. The presentation, it's in full mode. Thank you.
No, thanks to you. Thanks for the invitation to share with you this project again. We're really glad to be here and be able to explain to you more about this project, how we made it, how we designed it. And of course, as Vicky and Marta said, all your questions and questions are welcome and comments. Don't hesitate to ask and comment on the chat. I don't know if maybe we cannot see the chat at the time we're sharing the screen, so maybe the questions we can do them at the end, but you can put them in the chat so you don't forget about it. To start, first of all, a little bit of introduction. I'm Laura Sant. I'm project manager in Razeru. And Susan.
Me, it's Laia Carulla, and I'm project manager too in conscious consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope you enjoyed the presentation. Laura will do it, and happy to be here and to come with us another time. Thank you.
So for the ones that I think all of you were at last time we were here, but just for you to know, Razeru is a Catalan organization. It's a non-governmental organization that works towards zero waste society and zero waste ideal. So we work with companies, with population in general, like citizens, and with politics, so we can achieve this goal. To do that, we work mainly in Catalonia, in Spain, but we also work in Balearic Islands, and we also collaborate with different groups in Spain and different groups in Europe to be able to do more lobby and more politics around different areas and be more powerful, some kind of, And that's it. That's us, a little bit like super summarized. We do some studies to have more information about different topics. We do these different campaigns, more technical campaigns or more communication campaigns, as we will see today. And we also do a kind of consultative approach with some companies and cities and everything. But mainly we are both focused on the campaigns and more like awareness campaigns and all that. Okay, so I'll start now with the project that we're talking about today. So in 2017, we launched this project called I Am Coco, that comes from Catalan "Jo soc Coco." That means I am a conscientious consumer. And what we wanted to do was to approach the topic with a positive and attractive way and tone. So what we did was this web series that I show you now, with 5 families that they had 30 days to achieve one goal, that was reducing their waste at the maximum. And then the year later, we won the European Week for Waste Reduction Award, and we were really happy about it, of course, because of the innovation of the project and the originality. So we won the project, and we're still very proud of that. So now, if you let me, I'll show you the pilot video we made for the series. It's in Catalan, but there's English subtitles, so I hope all of you can understand it. And if not, you can take a little bit of the idea of what the project was about and what the videos were about, and then I'll explain a little bit more. Okay?
Avui estem a tope de residu zero. Han passat als tovallons de tele, que era una cosa que havíem de fer, però que m'he trobat en el moment.
Residu zero. A partir d'ara, residu zero.
Aquests dies que...
Vale, calla.
Aquests dies que fa tanta calor...
Nena, creieu que aconseguirem el repte o no? No! Oh...
és una campanya que vol apropar l'estil de vida residu zero a tothom. Per això comptem amb 5 llars que ens mostren de quina manera canvien els seus hàbits, les seves reflexions, les seves dificultats a l'intentar fer menys residus.
Ens hem adherit perquè volem generar menys residus i tenir menys coses a casa, menys escombraries...
Són una mica també més conscients i de retruc ells també ho seran.
Espero que realment aconseguim reduir residus i també que fer-nos conscients de la quantitat d'escombraria que produïm.
Yo creo que solamente reciclar no es lo suficiente, sino hay que evitarlo simplemente ya.
Hi ha coses que no estem fent i que poden ser molt útils i que no són tan difícils en realitat.
I ampliar-ho al màxim, no? I que hi participi com més gent. Jo he de dir que tinc moltes ganes de veure realment com evolucionarà tot això. Són molts canvis realment i que els hem de fer en molt poc temps.
Bé, la paraula de residu zero espanta perquè Déu-n'hi-do el que arribem a acumular i ara aquests dies que ho hem fet setmana darrere setmana, Déu-n'hi-do les bosses que hem omplert.
Jo en aquest cas no era tan meticulós com ella, però bueno, al final doncs m'estic reciclant jo també sobre aquest tema.
Ens hem adherit al projecte Residu Zero bàsicament perquè sempre hem tingut molta consciència de respecte pel medi ambient i sempre ho hem fet des del punt de vista casolà.
Quan va néixer ell vam veure la primera setmana la quantitat de bolquers que llançàvem i vam començar a investigar, a buscar com ho podíem reduir una mica.
Okay, so now you can have an idea of the project and how it worked. So as you've seen, we took these 5 families, really different families from all around Catalonia, and we asked them to make a difference, to make a change in their life and reduce their waste in really simple steps and step by step, but yeah. Each of them had different realities, had different consumption habits, and it was kind of a challenge as well to be able to give specific information to all of them that could be useful for their reality. But they did a really good job. I'm gonna do like a big spoiler now, but you can see now that all of them reduced their waste in a really important amount. It's true that they didn't get to zero because, as all of you know, it's quite difficult. Our system doesn't help us in that way. But you can see that all of them reduced pretty much half of it or almost half of it. After all, at the end, I'll show you the numbers, but you can see that like the amount is less. Okay. One of the biggest achievements was for the family with the baby. They reduced their diapers a lot. As you can see, they still use some of the single-use ones, but they really changed that habit and started using the clothed ones, like reusable diapers, and that change made a really big difference. So yeah, that's our 5 families. Now you see a little bit more about the project and can imagine a little bit what are we talking about and how it went. So now let's go a little bit more in the detail of the methodology and all the steps we follow to do the project. So what was the context? We are talking about when we designed the project, it was 2016, so 1 year before. Also because we were looking for financial support to do it, so we had to think about all the project and then get the financial support and then do the project. So the context was that we generate a lot of waste here in Catalonia, and as we do everywhere in the world, or almost everywhere. At that time, we were generating 1.36 kilograms per inhabitant and day of waste, right? That's a lot. A lot of us don't think about it sometimes, or when you talk to people and say that number, everybody's like, wow, that's a lot. I'm not aware of doing that much waste. And if you sum up everything, like all the citizens in Catalonia, that makes you 3.7 million tons of waste. That's a lot of waste, and we wanted to do something about it, right? We wanted to change that. So the situation was this one. At the same time, we saw that the policies and the campaigns were really focused on recycling. There was no one talking about reuse. There was no one talking about zero waste. Actually, ReZero was born because of that, because no one was talking about zero waste in Catalonia. So we were the first one 20 years ago, and in 2016 we were still fighting the same thing, and nowadays, 2024, we're still fighting the same. But at that time, so the problem was still there. We've been working with it for 10 years almost, and we saw that the problem was still there, and people was not really changing. There was some changes, of course, but it was difficult for people to understand the problem and to see what alternatives and what options there were in the market, right? So people was more and more aware of the problem, but they didn't know what to do, or they didn't feel able to do the change, right? They didn't feel that they could change their habits and their consumption. So that was a little bit of the context and the problem we wanted to solve, right? So we saw these needs, or that our society had these needs to be solved. First of all, there was the need to raise awareness among the population and make the problem visible. So give information, give numbers to people, so they were able to understand the problem further, because people just do waste at their place, right? And then they go to the rubbish and throw all the waste, and they forget about it. And when you give them the whole picture, right, that the information about in the whole Catalonia we're doing that, or in Spain it's happening this, or in Europe or whatever country it is, people get the full picture, and it's easier for them to be more sensitive about it and be more aware of the reality. So we saw that need. Then we saw the need to motivate people to change their consumptions, because you can see that, but it's difficult for you to make that change, right? Because you have to make decisions and make changes and do it as a whole with your partners or with your family or the people you're living with. So sometimes it's more difficult to get into the way to do these changes. So we needed to motivate people to more responsible consumption habits. And of course, we needed to show that zero waste lifestyle, zero waste options were real, were in the market, they were easy, they were viable, that anyone could make this change, that anyone could make a difference actually in society, right? Because sometimes we feel like I'm alone, if I change something, it doesn't mean anything, because there's so many people around me that's doing it wrong, that it doesn't mind that I change my habits. But actually with this, we wanted to show as well that if you change, maybe you can change the people that's around you, and that makes a difference, right? So everyone can make a difference, and everyone can be part of the bigger change. So as well, we found that there was the need to find new ways to communicate and get closer to people's reality, that ReZero and all the other environmental organizations were doing the things always the same way, kind of. They was doing the same campaigns or similar campaigns and everything. So we were like, we need to change that. There's the need to do things different to get different results, right? And of course, new communicators and new ways to communicate. Not only the kind of campaigns, but also the languages used, the tones, the channels used to communicate all this information, right? It's not just giving information as we always do or we used to do, but in that time we saw the need to look for different ways to give this information, not just like, here you have all the information. No, let's look for something different and more fun to give all this information. And of course, we saw the need to create influencers on zero waste lifestyle. Nowadays, there's a lot of people in social media talking about zero waste, but at that time there was one or two. They had some blogs, but the main social media places, there was not influencers or people talking about that were followed by a lot of people. So we also wanted to do that, to create that kind of example for everybody. So that was kind of the situation we saw and the needs we thought that we could solve. So our biggest hypothesis, or the main idea that moved us to do the project, was like, people are more convinced if they see someone they can identify with making the change. So if they see that these people, these families could do the change, so could they. So we wanted to have these real examples so people could feel more identified and do something about it. So that was the main hypothesis. So the solutions we gave with the project was this new and innovative methodology, this new way to get to people and to communicate. We used this close and friendly tone. We've been doing this kind of communication with ReZero since the beginning. We always used like a more friendly tone, but there was always something more formal and more technical. And with this, we wanted to break that and let the real people talk without this technical background, right? So that's one of the solutions we gave. And then, as I've been said, using these real people as main characters, talking about their real life, right? Not like, you could do that. No, I'm doing this. See, I'm at my home doing these things. So being a real example for everybody. And then one of the main things that we changed for this project, like in our way of working or designing the project, is that it was a 100% communication campaign. So it was not led by technical managers or project managers, we could be, but for our communication team. So the communication point of view was from the beginning. The project was designed with this communication goal, right? So that's something important, I think, as well. That's something to take into account, that it's important to do it from the beginning. So you'll see, I'm going to talk a lot about communication and the importance to plan all the communications you're going to do. And I think that that the communication team of the organization is leading the project is really important. It's going to make a difference. Well, okay, so that's a little bit of the context and the situation and how we saw that need and we tried to solve it. And I think we did pretty good. So when we had this bigger picture, we started like, okay, now let's put some things on the table and let's go to the details. The objective and the goal, the main goal of the project was really clear, was to raise awareness and show zero waste alternatives in a friendly and realistic way. Okay, so that's the main important goal of the project. And then we had as well some quantitative objectives, like we wanted 50% of the tested reuse action with permanent implementation after 5 months. So we wanted the people, like the families, to try different reuse actions, different zero waste alternative, and we wanted them to stick for 5 months, and that the families could follow with it for a long time. Actually, we've been in touch with these families, and I can tell you that after these years, some things have been lost and they have gone back to what we did before, but some of the things have stayed and they still do this. So they have maintained some of the habits they won with this project. So 50-50, well, kind of, we achieved the goal, kind of. And the indicators we had, of course, as I told you, it was like a communication campaign, sorry. So the indicators were really related with communication. So it was number of interactions on social media. At the time it was Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Nowadays I feel like it could be more or less the same, but maybe more Twitter and Instagram. Facebook now it's more used in companies. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's different nowadays, but at the time it was like that. Appearances in the media, so how many publications we had in different newspapers, in different in the TV and all that, and then number of people who had interacted in an active way, so through videos, through the web, through social media, people that was answering or commenting the post and all that. So that was our main goal, right? To get to people, to be everywhere, to be seen. So that was the indicators we were looking for. What else? Next step was to plan the project, like as everyone does when someone does a project, right? You have to have like a calendar and say, okay, we're gonna do this and then this. So that was the second step. What we designed was a project. It was longer than 2 months, but the main part was 2 months work with the families. The first month was a waste accumulation, because if we wanted to see if the project was useful and they really did the change, we needed to have a previous information of the normal habits of the families. So we spent 1 month with them where they were accumulating their waste, and then we will collect the waste and storage them and everything. So we can have this case of study, right, and comparison afterwards. And then it started the month of waste reduction, and that was, of course, the main part of the project, and it was the challenge. Of course, when planning, we also thought about this common calendar. We wanted all the families to do it at the same time, because of organization purposes, of course, because for us it was easier to have everyone at the same time, because they could interact with each other and talk about it and share experiences and, this help and this, whatever, like difficulties and easy things that they found. So they could share these experiences. But it's true that some of the families had different needs, and what we designed at the end wasn't really what it happened, because of course you design the project maybe without the families. That's something that could be changed, right? To have the families first and then design everything, but at the time, as I told you, we designed first. So we had to adapt afterwards the calendar. And I put it here, the collection and storage of waste, because if you are planning to do this project or something similar in your country, that's something to take into account, because it's not easy to go to everyone's house, pick up the trash and waste and put them somewhere. You need to have a space that's closed, that it's not gonna bother anyone because it can smell, and you have to take into account that the families have to clean their waste a little bit, like the plastics and all that can be more like with food residues. So you need to clean them before, and that's information you're going to have to give to the families. And how are you going to pick up them? Who is going to do it? Who's going to go once a week to each family? Or maybe there's families that they have place in their home and they can store it there. Maybe that's an option as well. But it's important to plan that before, because if not, you're going to start and it's going to be like, oh, okay, now they're accumulating their waste, and what are they going to do with that? And what are we going to do with that? We don't have a place to go or a place to put them. So that's important as well. Yeah. So that was kind of the planning of how it's going to work. And then the family selection, of course. From the beginning, we knew we wanted to have diversity of compositions. As you've seen, the 5 families are really different from each other. As well, territories. As I told you, there was like families from the north of Catalonia. The main group were from Barcelona, but there was also someone outside of Barcelona, a little bit more in the north as well, and ones in Girona. Well, they were all around the place. And it was important for us as well because we wanted to show different realities, as I said. Then it's not the same to live in Barcelona city that to live in a town where you can have your own garden and your compost and everything. And it's not the same to live in the north of Catalonia, in a really, really small village where you have to take the car to go shopping, and you have everything like farther away and have less options maybe, right? So we wanted to share this different reality. And of course the needs, as I told you, it's not the same to have a baby. You have some needs with a baby, as if you are 20 years old, like the students that were living together, and you have different needs then than when you are retired as a couple, right? That they were older. So from the beginning, we planned all that, and we wanted to give the biggest diversity as possible. Okay, and then as well, the personal challenges definitions. So we wanted to have this diversity to show this reality, but as well to be able to give different information and show different examples as well in zero waste alternative. Because if all the families are the same, you're going to show the same in the same video, in all the videos, and you can show less alternatives and less objects and less zero waste options, right? So you also want to show us as many things as possible. So yeah, that's something you get to design as well. And it's also important because when looking for the family, if you know what you want, it's easier, kind of, right? Because it can be difficult to find the families, but if you are like, no, but we want this and this and this, it's easier to just focus on that. So when designing the real project, we also designed what we wanted to be seen, right? Because you can do a lot of things, like 100 things, but maybe we wanted to focus on 10, 20 things that we thought were the most important ones, and we also thought what was easier for the families and for the people who saw the videos afterwards, and they could feel more related and more encouraged to do. So we did this proposal of lifestyle guideline. We looked for specialists that could help the families, because of course we're specialists on it, but we didn't want to be like Reserve goes and explain to them and it's everything so close. We wanted people from other companies, people from other organizations to come and explain their knowledge and their products and everything. So how do you say it? Sorry. we look for more people to open a little bit more the project. And then, of course, we plan ahead all the information given to the families, so when we started the project, we knew already what we wanted them to know, what information we wanted to give to them. And of course, afterwards, you can find that they need more information. There's some things they don't know, and you thought they would know. Of course, you're going to find with that, but if you have it in advance, it's easier afterwards to prepare all the materials and all stuff. And of course, all the filming instructions. You have to plan that ahead, and you cannot say the family is like, okay, just film yourself, we're gonna do a video, whatever. No, you need to, I'm gonna have to ask for this and for that, and that's important when you're designing the project to take into account some specialist opinion, right? Because we know about zero waste, we know about a lot of things, but we don't know about filming, about video, aesthetics, all that. So we had this collaborator that helped us from the beginning, saying, okay, the videos have to be like this, and families have to record themselves like this, and all these kind of things. It's important to have them from the beginning. And then the kids designs, there was a lot of questions about it last time we were talking with you, of what's in the kit and how did you do it and everything. I'll explain it later with more detail, but first of all, tell you that it's important to know from the beginning what products do you want to include. It's the same a little bit. What options do you want to show? So have them in the kit. It's important to personalize them as well because they have different needs, and think about collaborations that you can get. You need time to get these collaborations, to get the products for free or maybe with a discount or something like that. So it's important to take time to think about it, right? And plan ahead all these things, mainly with the kit, because you cannot just go the day before and buy everything, right? You need to think about it, look for collaborations, and if you know what you want, it's easier to get it. I'll explain afterwards which collaborations we had and which products we put in the kit. And last but not least, the transmedia campaign. As I told you, communication was super important. For us, it was fundamental to design and create the campaign with a multidisciplinary team, as I told you, to have people from different backgrounds help us design all the campaign, all the material we wanted to have, all the products, and of course plan these products. Here is one of the lessons we learned, that we were like, okay, we're gonna have these images and these videos, but then afterwards we were like, oh, this could have been communicated, and this was as well information. So take into account everything that can be communicated from the beginning, so you can plan everything. And when that's happening, you're gonna be ready to record, to take pictures, to do a, I don't know, how it happened, I don't know, but some material, some content that's gonna help you. It's true that nowadays it's more used to do that. Well, it's more usual because in social media everyone is like, everything is content and you can find everything there and people show everything and all the processes. But at that time, that social media wasn't that strong. Maybe we didn't take into account everything that we could to communicate. So that's something really important, and to be really sure of what you want from the project and what you want to communicate from it. Of course, think about which channels are you going to use to communicate, and sectorize all your communications actions, right? It's not the same to communicate in Twitter than in Instagram, than in LinkedIn, for example. So think about it as well, because maybe you can generate different materials and different products for each sector. Of course, adapt to the context, social media, and languages used at the time. It's not the same when we did it before. Now probably we'll do it different. Maybe the videos will be shorter. Maybe the language will be different. Maybe the families will be different. I don't know. We will have to see what's around us, what's going on at the moment, what's the reality of our society now, like almost 10 years after. Oh my God. And adapt to that, right? So I think that's really important to not just replicate, but replicate adapting to your reality and your context. And of course, as I said, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We have different questions. I'm not sure you want to have them as you present or later.
We can do some now, yeah.
Okay. There was Hasna, Madame Monsieur Hasna from Morocco. Did you want to? Oh, Madame, Madame. Allez-y. Allez-y, Madame Hasna.
You are muted. You are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Donc, désolée. Donc, bonjour à toutes et à tous. Donc, je me présente, c'est Hasna Chehabi. Je suis chef de service des programmes éducatifs au département de développement durable. Donc, c'est un plaisir de vous retrouver tous. Dans le cadre bien sûr, de la promotion de l'éducation à l'environnement et développement durable avec l'organisme Waste. Donc, et je tiens franchement à féliciter vivement la fondation qui a initié le projet COCO. Amcoco et aussi les saluer hautement donc pour la conception et la mise en œuvre de ce projet. Donc j'ai quelques questions. Donc la première des choses, donc là avec ce projet-là, donc il a été initié par cette fondation. Donc pour la fondation, est-ce qu'il s'agit d'une association ou c'est une fondation qui regroupe plusieurs associations dans le cadre d'un réseau? Ça, c'est la première question. La deuxième question, c'est pour les partenariats. Est-ce que vous avez des partenariats institutionnels pour la réalisation du projet? Ou surtout au niveau, par exemple, de l'autorité locale responsable de la gestion des déchets. Donc, la troisième question, donc, je sais que vous avez ciblé, c'est vrai, des familles, mais est-ce que vous avez ciblé, par exemple, un quartier pilote? Parce que là, avec un quartier pilote, un quartier vert, quartier qui est destiné au recyclage, ça c'est important. Et en plus de ça, est-ce que vous avez ciblé des établissements scolaires? Parce que j'ai entendu, comme je vous ai suivi, vous avez réalisé des campagnes de sensibilisation pour le recyclage. Donc, est-ce que vous avez déjà ciblé donc, des établissements scolaires pour la réalisation des campagnes dans ce sens au profit des enfants. Et surtout, comme vous savez, c'est que l'école, c'est le miroir de la société. Et là, éduquer un enfant, apprendre à un enfant, c'est surtout l'adoption des bonnes pratiques et en plus de ça, l'adoption des gestes verts censés à s'adapter avec le respect de l'environnement et en plus de ça, avec même la préservation des ressources naturelles. Donc, en plus de ça, quelques questions, c'est que vous avez parlé, c'est vrai, d'un recyclage en amont, donc au sein des familles, dans des maisons, ça c'est sûr. Mais on n'a pas vu, c'est-à-dire la vie des déchets après. Par exemple, les décharges. Au niveau des décharges, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Et ça nous interpelle, franchement. Autre chose, c'est que c'est vrai que le volontariat, il est important, mais toujours le volontariat ne suffit pas. Donc, on a toujours besoin d'un professionnalisme. Et donc là, je me demande si vous avez fait appel à des gens de spécialité, surtout vis-à-vis de l'université. Est-ce que vous avez déjà établi un partenariat, par exemple, avec des universités ou avec des facultés ou avec, par exemple, des institutions qui sont formées dans ces spécialités de recyclage et de traitement et de réutilisation des déchets. Donc, oui, la dernière question, quand on parle de communication, j'ai vu qu'il y a pas mal des outils de communication, surtout au niveau des réseaux sociaux. Mais est-ce que vous avez développé des outils de communication très développés? Par exemple, j'en sais pas, des bracelets en silicone, donc, des t-shirts, des casques ou d'autres choses innovantes que j'ignore. Et merci. Je sais que j'ai posé plusieurs questions, mais je tiens à vous remercier tous et j'aimerais bien avoir des réponses plus adéquates. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci à vous. Je crois que je ne sais pas si nous serons capables de répondre à toutes les questions, mais bon, si nous pourrez sans question, vous pouvez nous les dire à nouveau. Le premier, je crois que toi nous as... Tu voudras savoir si nous sommes un réseau ou une seule organisation. Le projet, c'est un projet de réseau. Réseau, c'est une fondation. C'est uniquement une fondation, c'est les techniciens qui travaillent pour les différents projets, mais sommes nous qui nous avons cherché les financements, sorry, avec l'anglais et le français, c'est un peu difficile. Nous avons cherché des financements de public financement, une subvention pour pouvoir faire des projets, mais c'est uniquement réseau. Nous n'avons pas travaillé en réseau avec d'autres organisations. Et avec ça, nous avons cherché des partenariats avec des entreprises pour les kits, les différents produits que nous avons facilités aux familles, mais c'est uniquement ça, oui. Et parce que en avance, nous avons des contacts avec différentes entreprises et compagnies qui produisent des reusables produits comme différents. Après, Laura vous expliquera. Et vous avez parlé aussi, si nous avons parlé avec l'autorité locale de gestion des déchets, nous n'avons pas parlé parce que c'est uniquement nous collecter les déchets directement de la famille. Et alors, ces déchets ne sont pas collectés dans les roues, dans les containers de les roues. Alors, nous croyons que ça n'était pas nécessaire de parler avec les autorités locales. Je crois qu'il n'y avait pas de familles qui habitaient dans des villages où il y a des collectes, je ne sais pas en français, ce type de collecte que vous laissez vos déchets dans la porte, oui. Alors, c'est pas bizarre pour lui s'il y a un mois qu'il ne jette de déchets, alors c'est pas nécessaire. Et quoi, vous avez parlé aussi des établissements scolaires, non? Dans ces projets, nous n'avons pas établi des relations avec des écoles. Je ne sais pas si j'ai compris bien. No sé si...
Les escoles?
Sí.
Què és Castilla?
Cartisbar, no. No, era una altra.
Vale, vale. Crec que era això, sí.
Sí, aquell era abans. Je ne sais pas si j'ai bien compris. Nous n'avons pas parlé, nous n'avons pas établi de relations avec des établissements scolaires, mais après ce projet, quand il était fini, nous avons créé un autre projet pour le public scolaire, d'accord, avec la même idée de partager le Zero Waste Lifestyle, non? Alors après, nous avons créé un autre projet. Si vous voulez, après, nous pouvons expliquer un peu plus. Mais c'est vrai que dans ces projets, c'est tout un monde destiné aux familles, différents types de familles. Et finalement, je n'ai pas compris la dernière question
de volontariat, non?
Si vous avez parlé de volontariat, mais aussi de quelques éléments communicatifs, mais je n'ai pas compris.
Oui, je vais vous dire, comme j'ai mentionné tout à l'heure, c'est que le volontariat, il est important, ça c'est sûr. Et en plus de ça, le volontariat, c'est la colonne vertébrale d'un développement social ou un développement local. Mais le volontariat toute seule n'est pas suffisant. C'est pour cela que j'ai dit qu'il faut toujours avoir du professionnalisme. Et là, je me suis demandé, est-ce que vous avez déjà établi des partenariats où vous avez fait appel à des gens de spécialité, par exemple, l'université, c'est-à-dire des gens qui sont, je dirais, ce sont des gens spécialistes en matière de traitement, de valorisation et de réutilisation des déchets. Et là, je parle, par exemple, de l'université ou des facultés ou des institutions. Merci, des institutions de formation.
Nous avons cherché des spécialistes, mais pas spécialistes dans la gestion des déchets. Nous avons cherché des spécialistes de différents types de produits qui peuvent être réutilisés. Par exemple, nous avons un spécialiste de produits menstruels, je ne sais pas en français, pour l'hygiène féminine, ou des spécialistes, je ne me souviens pas. Bon, nous avons cherché d'organisations, pas de facultés. Nous ne voulons pas être très techniciens. Si vous voyez les vidéos, vous ne verrez pas personne de réseau et pas personne très technique. Nous voulons des spécialistes très prochains avec un langage, un manuel qui peuvent expliquer d'une façon très très simple et très prochaine comment utiliser le produit du kit, mais pas avec beaucoup d'informations de comment on gestionne les déchets, on ils vont, qu'est-ce qu'il fait quand on jette un déchet ici ou là. C'est pas notre intention. Alors.
I'm gonna answer in English because I understand French, but it's a little bit more difficult for me to speak it. But it's true that not in this context, but it's true that in other projects we've collaborated with universities, with other entities like organizations and companies. It's something that we do in Rosero. We think it's important, and we do it in all of our projects, and more every day actually. And about the institutional partnership and everything that you were asking, this project, as Laia said, it was only from Rosero. We did it alone, kind of, but the financial support came from the governmental institution, Catalan government, and it's something that we used to do as well, to do this. Well, it's more financial support. Yeah, it's not like a partnership, but it's more financial support. But we as well do partnerships with universities, with other local institutions, and other companies and organizations. And of course, I think it's important as well. Yeah.
I think that the most different thing of this project is that it was not a technical one. We wanted to show a lot of numbers, of information, as we usually do in other projects that before this one and after that. So it was a challenge for us to change our
way to communicate or the information given. Yeah, it was actually the main goal was to change that. To do it less technical, less professional, and more. It was as well rigorous and professional, but more
in a different way. Yeah, it was not so important to be so rigorous as before. It was more important to appel the emotions of the people who were collaborating, and people who after that we hope that will see the videos on the web series. It was a challenge for us, I think, and fortunately it was okay. But
I don't know if we answered all your questions. I think we understood everything in French and we answered, but I don't know now.
Non, ça reste les outils de communication que vous avez utilisés pour les campagnes.
Pardon?
Les outils de communication que vous avez utilisés lors de la réalisation des campagnes de sensibilisation. Les outils de communication, à part les réseaux sociaux.
Did you create any communication material? Like, for example, did you have T-shirts, or did you have bracelets, or did you have other materials? You put in the interpretation.
Like, there's something about the T-shirt, but I didn't got it.
No, when the designers create the image of the campaign, they create the possibility of create a T-shirt and something like that. But finally, we didn't do it. It's something that maybe we will improve if we repeat it. But no, we didn't create it.
Everything was digital, and everything we created was digital content and digital media stuff, but not physical products. Well, no.
We have a logo, no, that we use everything, the kit, everywhere we do, but in social media, etc., but not.
Now I'm thinking we actually did magnets. I don't know if you saw it in the video at the beginning. We did some magnets for the families to put the challenges on the fridge. That's everything we did. It's more like marketing or something. But that was it. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura and Laia.
I don't know if there's questions or.
Noor Mohammed had her hand raised, so you can go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm going to speak in English, so we wouldn't have to worry about the French. All right. I'm Noor Muhammad. I'm an R&D assistant at Banlastic Egypt, which works on something that is very relevant to your work because you also work on banning actually single-use plastics. So what you're doing is very, very relevant to us, and that's why I have a bit of like 3 to 4 questions. So first question, I'm not sure whether I got it or not, but how did you choose the families that you targeted? And also the number, was there like the capacity, your capacity only like had to handle like only 5 families, or like how did you choose the number? That's the first question. The second question is regarding the methodology. Is it only like, did you only track the waste reduction through the waste accumulation step and then finally seeing the waste reduced, or was there any other way to track the waste reduction? Also, did you note any patterns when it comes to waste? I know they were different families with different needs, but were there like something that was glaring that was used particularly by some family or like all the families? And then the third question is regarding the data collected, regarding the waste in general. Was this done in like relying on previous research, or have you guys conducted your new research to know the waste collection, like the waste consumption or waste production patterns? And the 2 final questions is sorry, is there like a methodology to pilot the project elsewhere? Like how could this be done? And finally, have you like followed up with the families after the 1 month timeline of the project? Was there like any follow-ups? Did you see more impact done, or was there methodology for that? And I'm done.
Okay, thank you for the questions. Sí. Some of the questions, actually, I'm going to talk about it later, but I can do like a little bit of explanation now and then don't do it later. It doesn't matter. On how many families and how did we choose the families and everything, it's just the next slide. The number, I don't know, I think that we were thinking about types of families. And we're like, okay, 5. And it's also a good number. It's not too much to, I don't know. If there was
I don't
something
remember,
behind.
but I think that it's also a economical question.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it was important. We must find the financial support to do it. So if we choose 10 families, it will be better in a communication way. But it means that we will have to be more people, more technicians doing the assessment and everything, and so it will be more expensive. So I think, I don't remember it when we planned the campaign, but it was a number 5. We thought that it was enough to explain and to achieve our goal.
Yeah.
But of course it would be better if we could do it with 10 families, for example.
Yeah, or more. Yeah. And the how we choose them, we use a lot of contacts, our contacts, and I know this family maybe you would be interested, and this friend had this friend that we didn't want really close people. We didn't get any friends of us or any family. We wanted people that was sensitive, but with the topic, but not like super sensitive or super into it, because we wanted them to do the real change and get all the experience in front of the camera, right? So we wanted people that was interested, but not that had done a lot of things before.
Nowadays, we think that maybe we'll use the social media to
probably
to claim who is interested to participate in this, but
at the time it was different. Or more like contacts. Yeah, my friend knows someone, or yeah.
It was not easy
No,
to
no,
find
no.
the 5 families. So if we wanted to make it with 10 families, well,
yeah,
it would be more difficult.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, about the methodology, you asked other ways to track the
reduction, the prevention.
Yeah, the reduction and the prevention. Probably there could be more. What we did was to weight the waste at the end. So after all the accumulation, we weighted them for sections like fractions, sorry, plastics, paper, glass, other waste, food waste. We separated it and weighted. I think it's one of the best ways to do it. Maybe you don't need to accumulate, for example, food waste. It was not accumulated for one month. Okay, sorry, I didn't explain that. So they at the end of the week or after 3 or 4 days, they would weigh it at home. So we gave them the tools to weigh it at home, and they had like a paper with a table that we prepared, so they could put all the information there, and at the end of the month we collected that information, and that was the way to have
In
it
the
there.
photos you will see some bags that theoretically they are with food waste inside, but they are not real ones.
Yeah, if you see these white bags that's in all the pictures, that's supposed to be food waste or organical, and it's not true.
They are proportional
They were empty.
to the quantity of
Exactly, they were
waste,
proportional.
food waste.
If you see here, they have more or less the same. Some of them have more because it happens when you buy with lead plastics and everything, that you cook more, so you have more food waste. But yeah. Another question related to these pictures that I thought, you talked about patterns, and if there were some patterns that were repeated among the families. They were so different, and all of them had their own manias and all. I don't know, the family with kids, they were drinking a lot of coffee. Others were cleaning a lot with some specific products that they didn't want to produce. Chemical ones. They were like, no, but I don't want to use anything else. I was like, okay. So there were really specific realities. Something similar between all of them, I don't know, for example, drinks, for example, milk and other kinds of drinks was the most difficult things to produce for all of them, because there's no really a lot of options here in Catalonia.
Yeah, in students group, for example, you can see all the bricks, milk bricks, and even, well, the other ones are here. Well, it's common.
Only the family from the mountain that they don't live in the mountain, but they live in a town nearby some mountains and in the north, and they had some cows and everything really near, so they could go there and buy the milk just from the farm, and the people from Barcelona could not do that. So that's as well the realities we saw and the differences. What happened with a lot of people is that, as I just said, they generate more food waste than before, because they buy more whole food and more like real food, not cooked. So they cook at home and then generate more waste. Yeah, and I think the easiest for everybody was to, and that's something that they repeated a lot, was to reduce the bags, the plastic bags, single-use plastic bags. It's something that here people had been doing for a long time already, but the single-use plastic for vegetables and fruits, that's something that now it's really common here. People use the mesh bags, but at the time they were really influencers. They were like the only ones almost doing it. So, and that's one of the easiest things for everybody. Everyone was like, oh, I love these bags, it's super easy. And going to shop like meat and fish in containers, that reusable containers, that was easy for everyone as well. So I think that was more like the more repeated things. Then the data collection, I don't know if you were referring to the project itself or other experiences, but for example, the information I gave at the beginning is from our government. They have like a system to collect all the information from all the municipalities and local institutions, and then they give the information. It's public, and that's where we take most of the information from. And of course, we have this study part in ReZero where we elaborate this kind of information studies, but in this project, it was more like what they did with waste they produced, and more like at the time and with them and the reality. We didn't speculate or anything. there's no methodology posted anywhere. I don't know if that was the question, if I didn't get it right, but I understood that you were asking for the methodology to do the project. We don't have it anywhere. Actually, we are here explaining it for the first time, so detailed, so there's nowhere. And follow-ups, yeah, that was one of the biggest mistakes or the biggest lesson learned from the project. That we did like a closure and we put all the families together and everything at the end, but and we had this group in WhatsApp and everything where we talk about it and they could share their experiences. And I think one local TV did something like 5 years later, how are they? And we did like a little video about it, but it's something that we really missed the opportunity to do more follow-ups and more like in 2 months, in 5 months, right? That's something that we really...
As you can see, we want to repeat it, the experience to improve it, and so...
Yeah. We really want to repeat it and do it better this time and see if the starting point is different as well, I guess.
Different family, different relatives, different contexts. So
yeah, that would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's okay for you, I'll continue a little bit because we're gonna get to more execution parts and maybe answer some of the questions the other people you have. And I see it's 20 minutes to 12, so I think it's better if we continue and then at the end we can do more questions. I don't know if that's okay with the organization. Yeah.
Yes, please go on.
Perfect. So as we just explained, for the family's involvement, we use our contacts, okay? No one too close to us, but no one too far, so it was people kind of known. To keep them motivated, there was this important part of being part of something bigger. They were not alone. They were not just doing it because they wanted to. They wanted to, and they were demonstrating something, and they were bigger, like part of a plan. And one of the problems we found was the technological use and difficulties that some people had. Like, for example, the retirement couple, they were not used to use the phone or record themselves, and all of that was kind of difficult for them. So that's something that we had to solve at the moment and in reality. So we went to their place, we recorded us all the videos and everything to make it easier for them. That's something you can be prepared for and think about it before. So that's why I put it like specifically. Then families preparation, of course, that's super important. They need to have all the information, but as the main goal of the project, it has to be in an easy way, useful, have an easy material, like a paper or a document where they can go and have all the dots, and I have to do this and this and this and this, and in easy way, because if not, they can feel a little bit overwhelmed. You've seen in the video some of them say that, wow, that's a little bit scary to say zero waste. And usually when we do these talks about it, we say like, every month, one change, or every week or every 2 weeks, one change. And here it was like, in 1 month, 100 changes. No, but 10 or 15. So it was important to select the changes we wanted from them and to put it in an easy way for them to don't get stressed out. Personalize the challenges. Of course, we had to talk to them, with them about it, because we were thinking about the diapers, we were thinking about the menstrual products, reusable menstrual products and everything. But when you are with the families, you have to, okay, this is our idea. Is it good for you? Do you feel like trying this? And that's important. And that's why, as well, I said before that sometimes it's important to have the families when you are designing the project, because all these things are important. Of course, the expert participation. As Laia said, we look for organizations or people around us that we had collaborated before, and we knew that they could do a great job there, to separate a little bit from ReZero and create these little talks where they will know these people and they will exchange information and everything in an easy and comfy way, right? And of course, the waste collection we were talking about before as well. It's important to define how we're going to do it with the families. Like, I'm not gonna be at home on Friday. Okay, so let's keep Thursday as the day that we come every week, if it's the best timing for you, and all the schedules and everything. That's as well important. Yeah. So I'm saying what we did and what's important to have into account. Kids preparation. Okay, as I said, it's important to have it in advance. Our kids had reusable bottles that we bought from a company. Tupperware, you can see in the picture, the 3 Tupperwares. No, we don't have any now. It's from the company Valira. We had collaborated before with them. And they were, yeah, like this one. It's a Catalan company that's all around, there's in a lot of countries. And we had collaborated with them before, so it was kind of easy to talk with them and ask them for help, and they send us all the material. And we had 3 or 4 Tupperwares per family, and then we had the mesh bags. I don't think we have one here. Yeah, but whatever, we didn't prepare that, we're like just improvising. These mesh bags, as I told you, was one of the biggest points, like better things from the project. They were from the brand Bitsy Bags. It's a Catalan brand as well from Barcelona. It was one of the first ones to do them here. And yeah, as well, we had collaborated with them before and we had the contact already, so it was kind of fluid. And then the reusable sandwich and wraps and bags, it's from Rolit. That's a brand that you can find almost everywhere in the world. They personalized the products for us, and it was really nice and interesting. And we still, we have a partnership with this company actually, and we still collaborate with them. So it was a nice way to start the collaboration because we gave them a lot of communication, a lot of publicity, and then to continue until now. And then for the families, like for the specific needs, we had reusable diapers. We added, with this company, you can see here, ADZ Nadons, that's in Catalan. And as well, it was the collaboration was only for this project. In this case, it worked really good, and that's it. We still have contact with them, but it's not continued collaboration with the others. And the reusable menstrual products that they gave us 3 menstrual cups for the students, and it also worked really good. And yeah,
as you can see, they are typical reusable products. So
yeah, it was easy.
Yeah, we wanted to show the easy things they can use and they can find in the shops nearby their home. So.
Exactly, yeah. And some people already have Tupperwares and everything at home, but they don't think about this other use that they can give it. So the challenge itself, for us, I think it's really important to give freedom to the families, to be authentic, to be real, because that's what you want, right? To show real experiences, fluid communication with the families, that's super important, to be in touch. We created this WhatsApp group, as I told you, and it's important to create a system through which the families can communicate to each other and share experiences. Of course, the collection and storage of waste, again, to be able to plan that and take it into account. And as I told you as well, solve problems as lack of videos, question about products, lack of motivation at some point, that maybe you see that they are sending less videos or they are doing more waste, and you're like, come on, just 1 week left, or you're doing so great, and I don't know, look for ways to motivate. It's also interesting to, in the couples, if one does it better or it's more motivated than the other one is not, maybe create some kind of game there, like, oh, you did it wrong again, or I did it right, and look for fun ways to continue the project. And of course, it's important to record everything, take pictures, have material like videos and photos, something like that. It's important to be always creating new products. So here a little bit of picture, like 5 pictures. This is the waste collection in one of the houses. You can see we were selecting them, separating, studying a little bit what they were from, and it was more like food waste or packaging from what? From cosmetics, from food, whatever. And then we were putting them for the pictures. And you can see here on the top right, this girl is from an organization that they talk about reusable menstrual products, and sustainable ways to have your menstruation and more healthy ones. So she was talking with the students and she was explaining them what the products are and how are they used. And it was
With the
nice.
options now?
Yeah, all the options and everything. So we gave them the menstrual cup, but they knew all the options because of this girl. So that was another way to give the information, right? It was not in a paper or in a video. Just someone comes to your place and explains you what you can do, what options there are, how to use them, and all of that. And here you can see as all the families received this paper, like this document with all the challenges. You can see just bullet points with some of the main challenges, main changes you can do to make it easier for them, and the magnets I said that we gave to them. Okay, and of course the communication. What we did was we created a website of the project with extra information. There was the 5 videos and then some articles, some summaries of the information that we were giving to the family, the cell list of challenges that we were giving them, and all this information. Then, of course, we uploaded all the videos and content to YouTube. If you look Objectiu Zero, you can see all the videos. It's in Catalan, I'm sorry, but maybe you get something. And then, of course, we did all the campaign in social media, the website, of course, but also Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all the common ones. And you can look at it at Rezero Cat. And then we did all this communication campaign with the main media. So with newspapers, we wrote to them, we wrote to the main local TVs, and all of that to, as I told you at the beginning, to be in places, to be seen, okay?
There's something that we haven't said, but maybe it's important to speak about it. When we were planning the project, we discussed about when we want to use the social media during the experiment, during the challenge, or after that. And finally, we decided to publish everything after the challenge, after the 2 months. When the family were correcting their waste. Why? Because we prefer to have the communication products, the photograph, the video, everything well done, finished, and then show it, show the web series, show the photograph, but we had this discussion. It will be better to put something in the social media during the challenge where the families can participate and can make some questions, answer another ones. Finally, we decided to do this way. It will be another different way to do it. I don't know if it will be better or worse, but
actually, nowadays, while we were talking before about the context and adapt the project to your reality. Nowadays, maybe we could do it different because social media work really different right now, and people is always communicating and in a more real time.
And I think the families will have the necessity to explain what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, explain, but in the context of the project, everything.
So probably now it would be different. Maybe even Instagram account only about the project we could do, or something like that, more specific and more real time to explain everything. And maybe it could be even longer, and it will be easier to do the follow-ups, as we were saying before, right? If we had this engagement from the families. Thank you. Okay, so to continue, some pictures about the all the papers we appeared. You can see it's really nice when you see all your work that it's really doing, like achieving your goals. But also it shows that it's a project that it's really interesting for media because it's easy to communicate. People can feel related. So it's easy that they give you this space and these papers, right?
And media wanted to speak with the families, not with us.
Yeah, that's true.
They wanted our opinion, their opinions. No? They wanted to speak with the families, what they have felt, how they have done all the challenges.
Yeah, it was like a Rezero project, but they were talking about with the families. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so as I told you before, there was disclosure. Maybe we were missing some opportunities during the the project, and the closing part was one of them. We did this presentation in we had a bigger event from Rosero, and we had the presentation in that event. Each student we could have done more things to close the project with the families and with other media and everything. That's something that we missed there. But I put it here because I think it's important for you to know that's one of the steps from the project, and it's important to do it because it gives it like a lot of sense to close and the families to celebrate what they've done and the energy to continue actually. So yeah, that will be it. Results, as I told you, some of them did almost 50% of reduction, not all of them, but the reduction they did, some of them continued during the time. As you can see, family with the baby, they reduced a lot of waste because of diapers, since they reduced diapers more than half. So at the end, that's a lot of diapers are heavy, so it shows here the final result. And they were doing like a lot of effort, really. They went extra. That was really cool. And the other families, they did a really good job as well. As you can see, they reduced less and less. And the students are not here because they didn't reduce their waste, actually, but not because they didn't do it well, but because they generated more organic and food waste. So at the end, the total amount was bigger, and that's kind of funny as well that you reduce, but
you have improved.
Yeah, you have improved, exactly. And the views were really great, more than 1,100 views on YouTube, more than 1,200 on search and on the website that we had from the project. That's also nice that people was not only going to YouTube, but they were also going to the website, looking for more information, reading the articles we were posting, so that's also important. And yeah, kind of our families became influencers in zero waste lifestyle. Some of them were saying like, oh, I'm now in the shops, I'm influencer, and everybody's like, oh, what are you doing? Or you're buying like this now, and that's where friends and family as well. Yeah, so that's one of the goals, and we achieved it. So we were really happy about it. And yeah, so that's everything about it. And then we wanted to show another example, but maybe there's questions. I don't even know what time is it. Well, just for you to know, this methodology is not like we have established in Rosero, as we are always creating new ways to communicate, new ways to get to people. So we're always creating new methodology, but it's true that we always look for these needs and what's the context, what's happening, what's our reality. So now we saw that there's a little bit of lack of, introduction. So now this year we created a new project that's Genera Coco, with the same cocoa consumption, conscious consumption. And yeah, we did it because we saw this lack of rigorous, but not too technical information on the internet, or around, like, yeah, internet is where you find most of the information. So there's a lot of technical information. There's some trainings and some studies to professionalize our work and all the zero waste and all the reusable systems. And there's a lot of people doing that, but more in a professional way, right? So if you want to learn how to be a project manager in this area, if you want to learn how to communicate responsible consumption or zero waste, there's projects to professionalize, but there was no projects for people that they just want to know more and have more rigorous information and more data and more detail, right? So we wanted to solve that and give a solution to that. So we created this online training. It's generacoco.org. Sorry, I forgot to write it down. So this is online training given by Rosero and other experts as well. We look for people from other organizations, from European organization, for example. We didn't invite anyone from universities, for example, and now she was saying that, but because we were going away from that, we were looking for people that could explain their realities, examples, and yeah, we did 15 videos, short videos, 20, 30 minutes each, where you can go in and learn about different topics inside of the zero waste lifestyle. We talk about responsibilities from governments, from companies. We talk about reusable systems. We talk about health and toxics. We talk about different economies like social and social economic, collaborative economies and all that. Okay, so what we did the same. We had an objectives. We set up some indicators. The same. How many people got enrolled in the training? How many answers we had on social media and all of that. We planned all the content and all the format ahead. We talked about how to release the videos, how to do the website, the web page as well. We talked with specialists, with the guy that did the website afterwards. We talked with him before, like when designing all the project. With the person that did the videos, we talked with her at the beginning with the design of the project. So we took into account all these opinions because they are experts on that. So that's something that we've replicated from I Am Coco. And of course, again, the communication. And this time we did it better with learning. And now because there's a lot of time had passed and we've done a lot of communication campaigns nowadays. And we know that's super important to have this plan ahead. And now we had all the channels that we wanted to use to communicate really identified, and all the sectors and everyone we wanted to get to with the information. So now it was kind of easier to do all the communication part afterwards because we had it really planned from the beginning. And of course, we also talked to people expert in Google Ads, in SEO positioning and all that before doing all the communication. So in the design, we also talked to them to have it in mind from the beginning. And then afterwards, the execution, we just created the content, filmed everything, and then create the web with all the experts and everything, and then did this massive campaign through social media, and that we got to a lot of people, more than 500 people have enrolled online training already, so we're really happy about it, and that's thanks to the communication campaign as well.
We can show the website. It's only in Catalan and Spanish. It's not in English yet.
Exactly.
You can find the 5 units, different. Each one have different videos and different information.
And our idea is to continue to grow this website and add more content. But we wanted to show you another project from Rosario that uses a little bit of a similar methodology, but of course we have improved from 2016.
It's a different project because in this case you can see different people from Rosario doing the videos. We thought that we have the information, so we can share it, and we chose this way. It's different.
And I'll show you the website. I didn't open this is one of the products that we did after the project, because we saw that a lot of people was asking for the information that we gave to the families and all these tips and challenges and everything. So we created this website that's as well all in Catalan. I'm sorry. That's something we have to learn to do as well, to do it in other languages.
If you find us a European financial support or something, we can translate it. That's no problem. We need it.
So here you can, for example, be in a toilet and you're like soap, and here they ask you a question, and then you have information about soap and how to do it better, or how to do it with less waste, less toxics, more healthy. Same with the toilet paper, for example. Here they ask you, how do you do it? So you can evaluate yourself if you're doing it right, or if you can improve that, and then you get more information. And you can go to different parts of the houses. I cannot go farther. Sorry. Sí, però volia tornar com a l'inici. But if you go through all of them, you can go to a bedroom, the kitchen, a shop, and everything. And then, this is in English, we created this website as well, like following a little bit the idea of giving information in a more dynamic and fun way. It's the same idea, just that traveling. So what can you do in the beach or on the beach to reduce your waste? What can you do in a coffee shop? You can see we use the same main characters from the web series. So, for example, reuse your coffee cup to take away, or electronic tickets, all kinds of things and ideas. And then parks and streets, when you go shopping, when you move around the city, just use the public transportation and all of that. So yeah, after that experience, we've been creating different material with this communication goal and this idea to get to people, because really we've seen that the most useful way, or the most effective way to get to people, is with real examples and easy information, not like a lot of information, just little tips and easy to understand and to get, and of course real examples. That was what we tried, and it worked. And yeah, that's it. We'll be happy to answer your questions. I don't know, maybe we stop sharing the screen so we can see each other, or no? Sí. Vale.
So all the questions in the chat were already answered. So you can
Okay,
see them. They were wondering if we could share the links. There was a question from Iro way at the beginning on what habits, but I think you somehow answered that, on what habits stayed in the families after that. Iro, I don't know if that's exactly what you were asking, or you want to ask.
Yes, actually, I
Yeah.
have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
Congratulations, and thank you for explaining to us the methodology. And we're happy that we are recording the whole thing. So whomever wants to repeat it from the people that attend or others, they can follow again the video. So I have 3 questions. My first question was, what type of habits did the families stick to? The new green zero waste habits, and which ones that you found more challenging? Another question has to do with the food waste that you also mentioned. For the students, for example, it increased. Does Barcelona and the regions where you worked, do they have composting facilities available for the residents? And if they do have, how do we count this waste? Because if we have composting facilities from the municipality, this is actually, I don't know, you tell us how you measure it. For example, in Greece, it's about half of the average per kilo, the average daily waste production is organic. So it's a big part that if we can solve this problem through composting, either from the municipality or from our garden, we are solving half of the problem. And the third question, if we have time, if you can elaborate a little bit on how you repeated the whole thing with the schools, and if there are any lessons learned that you can share with us, because I guess some people in this group also think they might repeat this for school settings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Thanks
Thank
for the question. Okay, so which type of habits stick and ones were more challenging? I think there was one thing that was depend of the persons and the families. Some of them, as I said before, went extra and tried more things, and some of them stick and some of them no. And for some of them, it was really difficult to make the change. Like there were some families that she was super into it, and then he was like trying, but then suddenly he was like, oh, I bought with plastic again everything, and she was like, oh no. So it depends of the family. What stick is the easiest, or the more like the ones that you don't have to change that much everything. For example, I was saying the mesh bags to go shopping for the fruits and vegetables was the easiest one for them to incorporate, and it was as well one of the ones that stick more. And it was easier for them to continue. things like coffee, for example, that some of them change the capsules for coffee, like the other machines with bulk coffee. That if they did the change, they continue with that, for example. Because it was like a change that they had the machine broken and everything, so they changed the machine, so now you're there, you know, you cannot go back, for example. And yeah, I think that was kind of the easy ones to stay. And for example, for the baby, the family with the baby, they tried the reusable diapers. It worked for them. It's true that they need their time to adjust. With only 1 month, it can be challenging, and for them, you've seen they still use some single-use diapers, so it was kind of challenging for them. But I know that after that baby, they had 2 more babies, and they continue with the reusable diapers when they could. They had twins, so it was a little bit more difficult for them, but they were like, we're still trying, and we still, they don't use always single-use diapers. They combine. So we were happy about about that, because it was some time after, and they still continue with that. So yeah, I don't know, there was some, I think like the easy ones, or the ones that you really see that you're reducing a lot, it's easier to keep them. It's true that a lot of their lives have changed. For example, the students, they don't live together anymore. They have moved around the whole world almost. I've seen them around everywhere, and I don't know if they continue with everything everywhere they go. I'm pretty sure that, for example, they continue to use the menstrual cup, because it's something that when you get used to it, and for them it was easy to get used to it. Well, one of them had problems, but in general it was not that difficult, and I'm sure they liked it, and they continued, and nowadays it's even more common, so I don't think they went back on that, for example. So yeah, it was a little bit of everything. Sorry, I'm talking so much. Food waste, composting facilities, yeah. We measure it, weighting it, so families weigh it at home, and then they throw it away in their in the street containers and everything. It's true that in Barcelona we have composting facilities. In some areas there's some community composting facilities, but
only some cases, not.
Yeah, it's not like super common everywhere in the city.
You have seen in the video the couple, no? The older couple. They have a garden, so they have a composter there. So it was easier for them to do this. But the other ones who live in the city, it's more difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe they separate food waste from other waste, but just to throw it in the street in the brown container we have here. Composting in Barcelona, it's not easy.
It will be amazing, of course, to have like a common network, like a shared network for everybody to be able to put that. And I understand that if some cities have this network or these facilities, well, you were asking how we measure, right, the waste we're generating. I guess you can still measure the waste that's getting into these composting facilities, and still you can measure it at home, right? You can you don't throw it every day to the composting facility if it's common for everybody. If you have it at home, then you throw it every day, and it's more difficult to measure. That's true. Maybe you just have to remember to I don't know, accumulate it for a week or for some days, and then weight it. And then you can throw it. I don't know. We didn't think about it actually.
But we agree with you that food waste is almost the half of the waste. It's 40 here. It's 40 more or less. So if we solve this problem, we do it quarterly. No, we separate and we compost it quarterly. We have the half of the problem solved. But it's still difficult because it's the last type of waste that we have separate from the others. So people didn't do it. Didn't separate it correctly.
And then with the schools, I can explain it quickly. And if you have more questions, what we've done, actually we've done it with the schools and also for citizens in general, but I'm going to focus on schools. What we did is we created this project with we do 5 sessions about zero waste lifestyle, with a group. And then we go there, we talk about a lot of topics. How to reduce waste in school, how to buy locally without waste, how to reduce toxics and all of that. And then we encourage them to do a project, a group project. For example, explaining everything they've learned to other students, to other groups or to other years and all that. To do a communication campaign for their town. So the local government can use it for their social media to explain alternative and opportunities and everything. We've done that they work with local shops to explain them how they can reduce waste in shops. I don't know, a little bit of everything we've done. We even did one of the schools did a project on zero waste plan for the school. So they write the plan for the direction. Like
you must know that we do this with teenagers. 15 years old.
Didn't say that.
They are the consumers of the future, so they can understand better all the alternative, everything. Maybe they buy some food, something the clothes. So we have focus on this age, and 14, 15, 16 years.
Yeah, because they are starting to be responsible consumers. And that's it. And for kids and everything, we've done other things. But for school, mainly we like the biggest project is this one. And sorry, what's related with this project I Am Coco is that we encourage them to reduce their waste during these sessions. So we talk about zero waste and give them examples and opportunities and everything. And then we do like 3 or 4 sessions, and then we gave them 3 weeks or 1 month without going, and there they have to reduce their waste in school or at home, per groups, wherever. We have to change the dynamics. They have to try to do it with their families and everything. And they have to take pictures and weigh the waste and everything. And then we go back and then we do the project.
And they explain us it was easier what I thought or not. It's more difficult. I cannot reduce this type of kind of waste or the other.
Yeah, it's true that it's challenging. It's challenging because at these ages they're like, but it's mandatory or not? But does it count on my final grades or not? Like really they are challenging, and then it's challenging to get it done. But it's true that the projects work and they feel encouraged because they feel part of it and they want to explain everything they've learned and everything. The reducing part, it depends of the school and the area, and it can get more challenging.
So it's difficult for them because the families buy everything. If their parents buy everything with the plastic packaging, it's difficult for them to reduce. So not all the consumption decisions
are made by them.
So it's difficult.
And that's why we also do this project with citizens in general. So local governments hire us to do these sessions, and we do the same. We do 4, 5, 6 sessions, depends on the case, and we explain a lot of different options. We give them a month to reduce their waste. We try to give them as well a kit similar to the one we showed you. That not always happens because of economical difficulties, but we try to, and then we see if they change and they can share the experience with other people from. The thing is to do it with neighbors from the same town or city, so they can share, I buy this in this place, or in this street there's this shop that they do this, or I don't know, this kind of information that it's really interesting, and they really enjoy it, and you can create like a group of people really concerned, and it's interesting, Well, maybe we should continue with more questions, sorry. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
There is a hand. Cool.
Okay, thank you very much, both of you, Laura and Dia. I miss Najla. Najla is with us. I didn't want to end this session without introducing her because she has an initiative called Zero Waste Palestine, which is similar to yours in Catalonia. So she might have left us, but I think it's very important since we're sharing experience to network and to exchange our experiences, because we're doing the same. We actually, maybe because some of you were not there last session, I'm Khulud Daibes from Bethlehem, director of Bethlehem Development Foundation, which might be similar to your organization. When we were thinking about this initiative, we thought about an influencer. You called them an influencer. So we thought about Najla because she was very courageous to start talking about zero waste in Palestine, and she's practicing that. And you can access her blog. It's Zero Waste Palestine. And we thought in the same way that she will, try to create similar influencers in order to start the debate. So just I wanted to mention that because most of the organizations we have here share the same experience, and they work in different locations and realities. So it might be also good to network beyond this initiative and to share experiences. So that is the idea, that we will work at a school, do the same with the teenagers. We will work at a university here in Bethlehem, which is a higher level of education, to try to create also a sensitive environment at a university. I like your logo, but it's more difficult in Arabic. Maybe my Arab colleagues share that, but the logo is very smart. So she will be the drive, let's say, to implement our project, since she's one of the few in Palestine who are talking about zero waste. The same is for Noor from Egypt. I think she is doing also great job, because last time we had the chance to get introduced to their work in Egypt. So I hope that this kind of sessions will enable us to communicate deeper and further in order, to share our experiences and improve our approaches, our methodologies, our impact on our target groups. So I'm sorry that Najla is not there, but maybe we will be communicating with some of you on our experience in Bethlehem. Thank you.
Okay, that will be great. Thanks for sharing. It was really interesting to know all the experiences that are similar around all the Mediterranean and everything. So it will be amazing, to be in touch and learn from each other. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I'll look for Zero Waste Palestinian. Yeah, thanks. I don't know if there's more questions, or we've talked so much and maybe we've answered everything.
Thank you very much, Laura and Laia. It was super interesting and very enlightening, your presentation and discussion. I don't know if we have any more questions. In any case, I would like to give the floor to Dr. Ramadadli, if he's still here with us. We are very happy to see him join us. He is the expert of West in stakeholder engagement. So, Mr. Adli, please share with us.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you very much. And let me also start by thanking our presenters today and greeting everyone in the meeting. I know that some already left. And thank you for the introduction, Vicky. I think it is the good thing about what we have heard is that it is an experiment that comes from the experience and the implementation, and it is already an applied activity. Of course, it differs. The situation differs from the north, from the south, and in many ways. I don't want to get into details about this, but definitely, as my my predecessor who just talked from Bethlehem. I'm sorry, I forgot the name, but there are some examples from the south, but it is a challenge, of course, once you say zero waste. It's very big challenge because you need to have the capacities of the different families, especially when you come in the south and you find that families are the situation is completely different when it comes to villages or very poor and informal sector in some districts and so on. But definitely the idea is we don't need to get to 0.0 or 0.00, but we can get to reduce as much as we can. This is the idea that most of the civil society can work on, and this is the whole idea of how we can reduce and the waste and make the management of the waste is much easier. Since you said that I'm one of the experts in the West, of course, my involvement with West, that I am the stakeholder engagement and impact assessment. So it's always in my mind that how we can make the right engagement of the right people in any process. So I think that today you have already managed to get some very good examples from the different actors. The experience that I've heard that in the beginning, at first half, it was not really very much engaging local authorities. In my case, we like very much to bring, of course, the local authorities, the municipalities, the private sector even, which is going to be the role of the private sector will increase, especially when it comes to the EPR, the extended producer responsibility, and so on. So the stakeholder engagement is very important in any process related to waste. And of course, the core unit of any waste management starts from the family. And that's why the experience today is very important to all of us. And of course, the impact is that how we are going to measure the difference between what we are, between before we have started this and after that. So this is why we always try to measure how far we were able to make a difference, and that we were making the impact at the personal level, maybe in this case, and at the family level, and also at the district level. That's very important, how we can measure the impact that's going, because this is something that when we show and we present, it makes people feel that we can make a difference. Because sometimes people, they say, what I'm going to do, it's only my family, it's not only my waste, I'm not the only one here, it is not there are millions of people who are doing the same behavior, so what I'm going to change. But when we show them that there is an impact and there is a progress happening and we are changing the situation, I think this makes the difference. One last point that we very much, at least as you know, RAED, the Arab Network for Environment and Development, we are very much focusing on youth and women engagement. And this is, of course, very important. And it was very clear that most of even the families that we saw, that they are all in the middle age, but we are talking about youth and women engagement. And this is why we give a very high importance for the engagement of universities and schools in our campaigns and in our work, because this helps also in the dissemination of information and also in the capacity building of the families through the young people and through the children. So this was my last point to mention here. But thank you very much, Vicky and Eru, for the wonderful work, and for the team, Laura and Layara, for what they have done today. They are doing a fantastic job. And of course, I cannot forget greeting my dear friend, Marta. Thank you. Back to you, Vicky.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adil. Thank you for your kind support. So if there are no more questions, I don't see any more in the chat. I think it's time to close this very, very interesting West session. Thank you again. I would like to thank the Heredero experts. I would like to thank Marta Zanquer from MedWaves. I would like to thank our interpreters and all the West team supporting one more training of waste, on awareness raising and education for sustainable development. Just to remind you that our last plenary session is going to be organized on the 28th of May. It will be our closing session of this series of trainings together with the Waste team leader, Professor Skoulos. So, of course, we will send you all reminders and agendas in advance. Until then, take care. Thank you all for this lovely session. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.